It's Jen from Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for July 2020, career, money, finance, all signs. I will timestamp them in the description. I would suggest watching your moon and your rising signs as well, because this is a general reading and it's not just for one specific person. So if you watch your moon and rising signs, it'll give you a little bit more information and it may help clarify exactly what we're talking about with just your sun sign. So they'll all be in the description. I will also put a link so that you can calculate your moon and rising signs if you don't know them. So that link will be right at the bottom below the description, or below the all the different signs where they're timestamped. It'll be right at the end down there. You'll be able to find out what your moon and rising signs are if you do not know. So take a look at that as well. A little update here. I'm not doing the individual videos right now for career, money, finance because I am just so busy that I'm really not able to do that. I tried. I had like 9 of them done last week and I started uploading them. There was a problem with a few of them and I had a massive headache. It just was not like, I was just not there for that. So I'm going to redo these and we're going to have a different experience. I just think sometimes if you're not in the right place, it doesn't work. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm working on some other pretty large projects, so I'm happy to be able to bring you this. If you do want a more personal reading, you can visit my website at notsomysticaltarot.com and follow the steps there to procure that. Or you can also follow me on Instagram if you'd like to at Not So Mystical Tarot, and you'll see stuff that I post, and of course link to my websites there as well. So everything will be in the description if you need it. And like I said, I do have a pretty interesting project going on, so I'm really excited about that, and hopefully I'll be able to share that with you as we go along because I feel like you might want to know. All right, so we're going to start out here with Aries. What do we have for Aries? Sun, moon, and rising for July 2020, career, money, and finance. We have got the Knight of Swords, so you have some serious energy coming toward you, and the Knight of Cups. When we talk about career, money, and finance, and you see the cups, this means that this is something that's personal to you. You have this, the Knight here is telling you that you need to absorb the energy that the Knight of Swords brings, because the Knights bring energy, and this is saying that you need to be able to use your logical brain here. There is something coming financially that, or career, money, finance, it's all interrelated, but there is something coming toward you that is not, you know how there's that, what do they say? Oh, don't worry, it's not personal, it's business. Well, this is a combination of the two. You may have someone ask you for a loan, maybe someone that you feel like I hate to use the word like you owe them, or you feel guilty, like maybe you're a lot more fortunate than them, but you need to use your logical brain in this case, because it, you know, like if you know that like your cousin always borrows money from you and never pays it back, or they have some other issues that make it so that they don't pay you back, and you don't want to loan them the money, you know, it could go for employing someone when you know you've always had problems with them. It's not personal, it's business. And I think that's the theme that we could give Aries here, is it's not personal, it's business. And I just really want you to be mindful of the heartstrings that someone might pull. Now this could also be, you could have a problem at work with a coworker. You could have a coworker trying to dump their work on you and saying, oh, but we're friends, and can you just punch me out? Or, oh, can you just help me with this project? You know, there's just a lot of things that could be going on, but I think the crux of this issue here for Aries, career, money, finance, is you need to use your head and not your heart. I think there's going to be quite a mix of the two that come at you, and it's really important that you, Aries, you know, you're a fire sign, so a lot of times you like to jump right in and help people handle things, and you really want to think before you act. Whether it's a new job or, I mean, who knows what it is that's coming toward you. And career, money, finance, it could be anything. It could be buying a house. It could be buying a car. Like I said, changing jobs, somebody wanting money, whatever it is, anything centered around your finances this month, you're really going to want to take a serious look with your logical brain before you let your, what do I want to say, before you let your heart kind of lead you in a direction that might not be the best for you. The card that you get with this is the moon. And if you've watched me long enough, you know, I will tell you the moon a lot of times is a card about things are not quite the way they seem. And I use this example a lot, like, you know, when you go out to a fancy candlelit restaurant and it's really beautiful and you know, you're like just enamored of the scenery, and then maybe a year or two later, let's say you get a job there and you're like, man, this place is dirty, but you don't see it. It's that kind of thing, you know, in the dark you don't quite see things that you would see if the sun was shining brightly. So it's another thing is that this request or this energy may come masked in this, oh, but I love you, and oh, but we're such good friends, or oh, but I'm your cousin, you know, whatever it is going to come masked in some kind of personal stuff, and it's not the way it seems, and it's a really bad idea. So whatever it is that's coming toward you, you're going to want to use your logical brain. Remember that you may not be seeing things clearly because your heart may be in the way. And like I said, that can be, it could even be something like you get offered a really great job, but you really like your boss, but you're being offered a really great job that's going to be good for your career and you're going to really excel there. But you're like, oh, but my coworker's my boss. Well, let me just tell you. And when you've had people leave where you work, like in 3 days, you don't even remember that they used to sit over there at their desk, right? So just, I'm saying, use your head and not your heart. Things are not the way that they seem, Aries, okay? Really important that you truly pay attention to that, okay? All right. We're going to move on to Taurus. Sun, moon, and rising. What do we have for Taurus? We have got the 10 of Wands along with the 6 of Wands. All right, Taurus, you have carried whatever this is long enough. You've got this heavy burden right here. And I know this seems very ominous because this guy's like bent over and he's like dragging these sticks and he's, oh, this is terrible. The one thing I want you to realize is that 10s are the end of a cycle. So you may have been carrying some sort of very heavy burden, but this is wonderful. You have the 6 of Wands here, and it's telling you that it's time to release whatever this is. Because if you can release a few of these wands, like if we're talking about career, this is just an example. You may be carrying more than your share of the load at work. This could also relate to like your personal finances. Maybe you have a partner and you're carrying a lot of the load financially, and they could be helping more, but they're just not. You know, whatever the case might be, it's this as far as your career, money, finance is about someone. You are carrying a very heavy load, and it's time for you to give some of that away. So the beautiful thing here is it looks like you are able to do that. You know, if we're talking about work, we're talking about delegating. Career, money, finance, it could be anything. It also, a lot of times we're dealing with an earth energy like this. It talks about your environment. So if someone's not helping out at home, it's just, you know, you get my meaning. What's going on here is that there's obviously some sort of heavy burden you are carrying that you need to be able to give. I'm not saying, like, this does not say quit your job and run off and join the circus. This says, okay, you're doing more than your share. Give some of it away, because you go from 10 wands to 6. You don't go from 10 wands to 0. So, you know, on a cruise, you know, but this is saying be able to learn to delegate some of this away, or just come right out and say, listen, this is not my job and I'm not going to be doing this anymore. You know, because one thing I want to tell you is that when you see this card, this doesn't mean that someone like forced these upon you. This means that you picked these things up oftentimes little by little until you were like, okay, that's enough. I can't take it anymore. And you want to like quit, run away, scream, yell, whatever. But really, you've picked this stuff up. So it's time for you to delegate, put some of these things down. Whatever this has to do with your career, your money, and your finances, like I said, if you're carrying too much of the burden, it is time for you to put some of it down. And I feel like here with this 6 of Wands is a victory. Now, the thing with this is more than one person coming in victorious. You know, you see there's another horseback here. You see people coming together. So it's kind of like a win. This means that you will be able to delegate these things. You know, if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be able to get rid of the stuff that you need to get rid of, and you'll be able to do it with someone else. Like, this is a team thing. When you give this stuff away, you can, I think this says that you remain able to like get along with this person, able to still be on the same team as this person, but it's just sometimes responsibilities just get a little much on one party. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened to you, is that your responsibility level has gotten just a little too high right now. So it's time to delegate. Time to delegate, whether that has to do with too much dumped on you at work by a lazy coworker. It could be that you need more help at home and you're not getting it. It could be you're paying too many of the bills and nobody's helping you. Whatever it is, you've carried it for too long. And this is funny. You have the Knight of Pentacles coming up as kind of like the glue, kind of putting this all together. And this tells me this is the slowest moving energy in the deck. Knight of Pentacles, he just plods along really slow. But you are the Pentacles. You are an earth sign, and it takes a long time for you to get fed up. And that's kind of, I think this did not just happen overnight. You didn't just run and pick all these up and start dragging them around. This was, like I said before, picked up little by little by little. This is your energy. It's very slow, very methodical, and I'm sure that you had the very best intentions of helping out. But the thing is, it's gone beyond helping out. So at this point, it's definitely time to begin handing this stuff away. And I think the Knight of Pentacles also gives us sort of an idea that you want to be gentle with this. Very, just as slowly and methodically as you little by little picked this stuff up, you need to little by little delegate it back so that it isn't a big upheaval. It's not a big upset. You don't want a big upheaval. We don't want those kind of problems. It's very upsetting. So we want to just slowly and methodically, as you've picked all this stuff up, I need you to get it away. All right. We're going to move on to our Geminis. Let's see what we've got for Gemini. Career, money, and finance. You have got the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles. Well, okay, Gemini, go you. The Sun signifies something brand new, something completely different, and the Ace of Pentacles is the universe saying, hi, here's stuff I'm giving you. Here's money, here's wisdom towards your finances, and here's a career opportunity. Here you go. So Gemini, I'm very, very encouraged to see this. I'm really excited for you. This has been very stressful for our air signs, what's gone on these last few months. It's easy to get stuck in your head. Air signs are thinkers, and it's easy to start mulling stuff over and just get stuck in your head. And it looks like as some things open back up and there is some sort of hope displayed into the universe, it looks like some financial opportunities are opening up for you. This could be, when you see the Sun like this really could mean that you have something completely different on the horizon. This is like a rebirth, or maybe you're going to rejuvenate an older part of your career that you hadn't thought of before. And like I said, relative to your finances, it may be time, when you see the Sun like this, it makes me immediately think, is it time to, refinance, pay things off, start anew? Maybe it's time to kind of consolidate whatever we have going on. If you've, acquired some sort of debt and things like that, it might be time to sit down, consolidate, make a brand new plan, start fresh, and, take this opportunity to kind of begin again. It's easy to get into a place that's, it's easier to get into a place that is not good, and it happens very quickly versus to just kind of cruise along and, nothing goes wrong. So it seems like if things weren't going so well, that this is an opportunity to make a change there and to really do a complete fresh start. It looks like the universe has got something for you. It could be a new position, new job. One thing I want to say is be completely open to anything, because you may be very surprised at what comes your way. So be open when somebody, this won't go back in. Be open when someone talks to you about new opportunities, because it may be something, especially with this little baby in here, something that you never considered. It could be a brand new, you get the new person, new baby, you get it. It could be a brand new idea that you just had never considered before. The card that you get to kind of glue it together and focus is the Queen of Swords. And you are the Swords. You are an air sign. You are in your head. And remember, you are fierce. So it's very important here, as all these, and I think it's more than one, as all these new things kind of blow at you in this big, you get the giant hand out of the sky with here's an opportunity. Everything looks really great. But the Queen of Swords is shrewd. And rely on your logical mind to decide what you will and will not involve yourself in. Rely on your logical mind. If you, like I talked about, maybe you want to consolidate everything, refinance, and kind of have a fresh start. Use your logical mind. What can I really afford? What can I really make a commitment to do? If it's a new job or maybe a new home or something like that, really think about it. Is this something that I'm up to? Am I up to this, or does it just look like something different because I don't want to do what I'm doing? But just really rely on the fact that you know who you are. The Queen of Swords knows who she is, and she knows what's good for her. So rely on her when examining all this opportunity that comes your way, Gemini. She will definitely assist you moving forward. Okay, we are going to go to our Cancers. We are in Cancer season right now. Happy birthday to all the Cancers. What do we have for Cancer? That one would not go back in. The Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. I just have to say, I know we're only partway through, but whew, this reading is a little lighter than some of the last ones we've had. Queen of Pentacles, Cancer. Queen of Pentacles has got herself together. It's a very good possibility. There was just a new moon in Cancer that maybe you took some time to really realign your environment, really get yourself together. The Queen of Pentacles has got it together. And what this is saying here with the Six of Pentacles is that it's time to give back. You got yourself your financial house or your work, whatever even if you don't have quite the job you want, or your house isn't perfect, or your debt isn't all paid off, you have a plan and you know how you're going to attack this stuff. And if you don't have a plan, now is the time to get one. Now, there was a new moon last Saturday, which was June 20th. And that is a time, the new moon in Cancer, to kind of realign all of your personal goals, the goals for your home, your environment, all of the things that make you feel comfortable and safe. And if you missed that, this is really freaky and weird. There's another new moon in Cancer, which only happens like hardly ever, a sequel new moon in Cancer, because there was one in June, on July, it may be July 20th, but there's a post on my Instagram about it, Not So Mystical Tarot on Instagram. There's a post about it. It's like all purple, but there is a sequel new moon coming again in July. So you get like a do-over at this, which is really cool. But either way, if you're making plans, or you have made the plans, or you are currently working on or through a plan, know that you're going to be successful enough that you can give back, because that's what the Six of Pentacles is about. It's about having abundance and giving back. So even if you aren't quite there yet, know that your plans that you are making are going to get you to that place. And when that comes to career, money, and finance, that makes you feel really great. Not only will you be successful, have yourself in order, and feel really good about that and where you're going, but you're going to be able to help some other people along the way too, whether you employ people, or maybe you can help a coworker at work. Maybe you can impart some of your wisdom and knowledge onto someone else and help them along, get themselves in order, especially with their finances. A lot of people really need some serious assistance in that direction. So the card that you have that glues it all together, you're going to love this, is the Tower. And don't freak out. The Tower is great because the Tower is all about a rebuild. And I think that whatever is going on here is something that is newly in place. And what happens with the Tower is it just kind of takes everything down and you start over. So if you are in this Tower moment right now, if you've been devastated by the lockdowns, the pandemic, all of the other things that are happening in the world, now is the time to make a new plan, start something different, and know with solid goals in place that you really can forge ahead during this next month, during this time in July, to not only make a plan to get yourself in order, like, because the Queen of Pentacles is like, she is the bomb. Like, she has got herself in order. She knows where her money is. She knows where her house is in order. She's just got it together. And so much so that she's able to give back here with the Six of Pentacles. So know that even if it looks like this right now, know that you've got this on the way. So either way, I think it's going to be a great month for you guys. And you have that sequel new moon in Cancer, and I think it's July 20th. Like I said, I did an Instagram post about it because I didn't even know it was happening, and I was like, wow, that is so cool. So take advantage of that. I put some things in that post that talk a little bit about the different things you can do during that new moon to kind of amplify what's happening. So take advantage of that, okay? All right, we're going to move on to our Leos. What do we have for our Leos? We have got the Seven of Cups and the Two of Swords. Okay, Leo. It looks like you are faced, remember, we're career, money, and finance right now. That's what we're talking about. So it looks like you're faced with quite a few options. And I know this can seem like this person's overwhelmed. I choose to look at this a little bit differently. It's that there's a lot of really great options. And, you know, maybe you can only take advantage of these couple, or maybe these two you can take advantage of, but these three don't go with it, or you'd have to move, or who knows what. But you have a lot of really interesting and eclectic is the word I want here, options in front of you. And I do feel like you might be slightly overwhelmed, but if you stop and look at each option individually, you'll see that you're actually pretty lucky to have been afforded the chance to move in so many different directions. And the other thing here is you have this Two of Swords. Now the Two of Swords is about choosing not to make a decision. And when we choose not to make a decision, what are we doing? We're making a choice to do nothing. So basically, if you want to stay in this position of, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything, you might as well take these and like throw them out the window, because they're just going to disappear. So choosing, not making a choice is choosing to do nothing, which is really not a good thing. So in the big picture, like I said, I feel like these are very eclectic options, maybe things you would never explore. Don't just go, oh yeah, no, that's not me. Take the time, remove this blindfold and say, listen, I'm going to make a decision. And maybe you won't make a decision about all of them, but maybe one at a time. Examine, okay, well, I've got this option open to me right now. Maybe you have a new job offered to you. Maybe you have a move at your company offered to you. Maybe you could refinance your house and you're like, I don't know if I should do that. Or maybe you want to consolidate. Maybe you want to, read one of those books and pay all your debt off, or set up a college fund. We're talking career, money, finance. So that's what we're doing with this. And that's what I'm saying, is that you have a lot of options in front of you right now, recareering possibly, moving for your job. I don't know who that's for, but somebody's moving for their job or has an opportunity to do so. But either way, if you ignore these for long enough, they will just kind of float away. So it's really important that you examine each one. And I said to not get in this like la 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 la, I don't see you thing, and have everything just disappear. You know what? Cover them all up and look at this one for just now. Or maybe look at, I'm going to look at these two over here just for now, and maybe even make a list and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go through this one. This is really not feasible for me. I don't want this. Okay, fine. Throw that one away. Well, let me take a look at this one. What is that? Okay, is this something I might consider? Okay, I'll put that in the might consider pile. But maybe it's time for you to really examine your options. Take a really good hard look at them. Put the swords, go away, swords down, take off the blindfold, and instead of being overwhelmed and hiding, really take a look at each option. It may be that, this pandemic and all of the other things that are going on have really been a hard hit financially for a lot of people. And a lot of us are examining our finances and the way that we make a living. Everything is different now. So this is what I'm saying here, is this really says to me, please be open. She is not open. Please be open to all of the options in front of you, because something like the least likely thing may actually hold some real value for you. So please be open to the things that come toward you. You don't have to take advantage of all of them, but just think about it and see how you feel as you really think about it. Okay, this is interesting. The glue that kind of holds it together is the Chariot. Now the Chariot, I'm gonna get my other hand up here. The Chariot, you see you've got two different horses, these are like little, I don't know, like cat dog people, but you've got two of them. And they're two different colors and they're headed in two different directions. So it's just signifying that they're very, very opposite. They're polar opposites, completely positive, negative to each other, right? You've got the opposite hair, body color, everything is completely opposite. It's just highlighting that these are opposing forces. So not only do you need to kind of figure out what in here works with your life and how you want your life to be, but you also, with the Chariot, is a lot of really busy, crazy, fast energy coming at you. So you are going to need to make a choice, because like if you ever watch those old movies, where you see the chariots in the desert and they go blowing by people, that's the thing, is once it blows by, the option is gone. So I think it's important that you take off the blindfold sooner rather than later and start to examine all of these options. And like I said, please be open to everything that's offered to you, because it might surprise you the one that works out for you. But just remember here that especially with these polar opposites, there may be some things offered to you that you're like, huh, what? But you know what? As you further examine them, it may be very helpful for you to be open to all different things. So just know the energy is moving very fast. It is time to kind of, we've all been on hold long enough. It's time to kind of stop, examine what's going on, and make some decisions. So we will leave it at that for the Leos. Definitely watch your moon and rising. That will give you a little bit more information, I think, too. Okay? All right, we're going to head to our Virgos. Virgo, you have the Ace of Swords. Wow, and the Ten of Pentacles. Well, go you, Virgo. I love this because you are the Pentacles, of course. And of course you have the Ten of Pentacles because you're you. You awesome Virgo people. I love the Virgos. But anyways, you have, I think the Virgos, what I'm seeing here is that you, I think, will be at a place where you are very successful this month. You will have very good things happening for you money-wise. This Ace of Swords is giving you an opportunity to, one, use your head, and two, think logically. A lot of times I see, especially with the earth signs, their need to nurture and care for everyone, not so much emotionally, but more financially. I see them needing to handle everybody else's stuff. And when it comes to this, it's really important, I think, that you focus on your own finances, your own career plans, your own things that pertain to you, because there is a big opportunity coming here, and it has to do with your intellectual side. So something that you maybe are very good at and are very successful at, there's an opportunity coming here that's going to engage you both intellectually and in your environment of, you know, being a successful, maybe a business owner. Maybe you've been very successful with your finances. Maybe you're paying off some bills this month. Whatever it is, you're having some abundance and some success coming your way. But it's important to look at it intellectually, and not so much as what can I do to handle everybody else's problems, but how am I going to handle my own problems and my own financial maybe struggles, my own career. There's something coming to you, and it's saying you're going to really need to be intellectual about it when it arrives, and not get sidetracked, Virgo, because I think your intentions so often are to help other people and to be very good to other people and to be very kind, that sometimes you get a little sidetracked and you just see a problem and, oh, I'll fix it. But not every problem is yours to fix. That's probably just for one person or two people, I don't know. Or the Virgo I live with, I don't know. But either way, you have this opportunity here to really engage yourself intellectually. So you could have some intellectual property that maybe is you're finding is really worth something, or you could have a new project coming that's going to really engage your brain and be financially very successful for you. I think a lot of it has to do with that. But I'm very interested to see what comes up for you in this. We're going to get one card. Okay, well, you have the Wheel of Fortune. This is kind of the glue that sort of holds it together. The Wheel of Fortune is that everything is available to you, and that kind of, this always kind of means that like luck is sort of coming your way. So what a great month for you, Virgo, right? You have this brand new intellectual opportunity. You already have some serious success, or it's coming to you. And oh, by the way, you know, it's up to you to make the choice to jump onto that Wheel of Fortune and take some of the luck headed your way. So I think by engaging in the logical thought process and really being cognizant that you're using your brain and your intellect, I think you can take this and like make this even more with this Wheel of Fortune than you had planned on. Like, I guess this is saying you need to be able to see outside of your immediate area, really use your brain, engage your intellect, and say, well, what else can I do with this? Because I think this is more valuable than you realize. Finally got it out. That's what I was trying to say. All right, Virgo, we'll let you guys go. We will move on to our Libras. What do we have for the Libras? Two of Swords, Libra. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, Libra is an air sign. Air signs tend to get kind of stuck in the pattern of overthought, kind of stuck in, I'm an air sign, I can say this, kind of get stuck in their heads, kind of let things perseverate and roll around in their brain until they can't make a decision. And the Two of Swords is about not making a decision. It really looks like there's an opportunity like, hi, I'm trying to give you something, and hey, you get this blindfold over your eyes and you're like, get away from me. So I think that what needs to be talked about here is the Two of Swords often is the lack of making a decision. It's being at some sort of a crossroads or some sort of an area where you know you need to do something and you're not doing anything. But what I want to make abundantly clear to you is that not doing anything is a decision to do nothing. You are making a decision, but it's not a profitable one. And I think this is like very blunt and very clear. And I think for the overthinkers among us, like I said, I'm an air sign too. This is nice. Hey, there's something right in front of you. Take off the blindfold, and open your arms, be open to the new things coming towards you, because I am trying to help you. It looks like the universe is trying to extend something to you. There is some opportunity in your career, money, or your finances, and because you are possibly stuck in a pattern of deep overthinking, you may not be seeing it. I definitely would like it if you could watch your moon and rising sign, because that will probably be a little bit helpful to you to help clarify what's happening. But like I said, this is pretty blunt and pretty clear, right? Let's just get one more card here. Okay, we've got the Two of Pentacles. I kind of like this card. I always did. You see that there's like kind of some rough seas and like a big ship and a small ship, and there's like big waves and smaller waves. And you see this guy. He's like, okay, I'm going to try to get this stuff balanced out here. I'm going to try to get this all under control. And you know what's nice too? This also shows me, because you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is like the one, this is the Two of Pentacles, creating a balance. So this tells me that you will remove this blindfold. You will be able to see the opportunity in front of you and incorporate it into your life in a balanced way. And that's really the kicker too, because it's very easy to get like enamored and caught up with something new, a new opportunity or whatever. And then you like mentally you're gone and you're on another level, and you're not talking to anybody, you're not engaging. So this kind of says, this says to me, especially going from the Ace to the Two, earth signs are methodical, remember that. So seeing that says you don't have to jump in at 100 miles per hour. I think maybe that's the fear here. But when you can let go of the fear, embrace the opportunities that are given to you slowly. You go from the 1, you're not going up to the 9, you're going from the 1 to the 2. So this opportunity, what is put in front of you, and I feel like it probably is more than one opportunity. It has to be something that you can incorporate into your life in a balanced manner, not something that's going to turn your life upside down and make things crazy and insane for you, because that's not what you want either. So really look at the opportunities that are given to you, make a cognizant decision, and then take the one that you are able to incorporate into your life without turning your life into like a disaster, if that makes sense. So, but watch your moon and rising, because that might give you a little bit more clarity on that too. Otherwise, we're going to move on to our Scorpios. What do we have for our Scorpios? Career, money, finance. 6 of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Okay, well, I know that a lot of people are getting back to work. I think with this break that many have had, it has been a time to really re-examine priorities, re-examine what do I do with my time? Do I like the place that I go every day? And you have this King of Wands, and the King of Wands is someone who follows his passions. He's very successful. He gets stuff done, and obviously so much so that he's able to be very abundant. So when I see this King of Wands, it really, it begs to ask the question of, am I following my passions? Because when you follow your passions, you end up with the abundance enough that you can give back to other people. The other thing is that sometimes when you start to give back, like if you maybe you own a business and you're a member of the community, when you start to give back to your community, you become more and more successful. It's kind of a cycle that it just sort of loops around. So I think that what we're talking about here is finding a way to give back this month from the abundance that you have. And I'm not saying that you have to be highly wealthy to do so, but finding a way that you can give back. And it doesn't mean that you have to give millions of dollars or anything like that. Maybe just a way that you can help your community, but putting in a little bit of effort toward people that maybe are not as fortunate as you are, in a vein that follows your passions. You know, maybe you love, I don't know, as an example, maybe you really love to cook and you give, you bring meals to some of your friends who really could use a hand right now. That may in turn turn into something bigger, and you could end up profiting from that at some point. That's just an example. There's a lot of other things that you could do, but I do think it's really important to, as you follow your passion, and I think another thing is you won't be able to help it when you follow your passion truly. You kind of can't help but tell people about it and try to get them to enjoy with you, and because you want to share. So just be open to sharing, be open to giving back a little bit, and as businesses and things hopefully return to some sense of normalcy, don't be so worried about that I have to catch up, I know it's easier said than done, but just if you can find even the smallest way to give back, even if maybe you don't have a lot of money or whatever, even if you spend $5 and buy some stuff and drop it off at the food bank, or you might feel so much better because somebody that really could use that. You're going to be able to give that to them. So just something small, but whatever it is, it really will in turn light a fire in you. I think it will really kind of light you up and drive you towards something much, much bigger than you are imagining. We're going to get one more, right there, one more card and see where we can, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I don't know why I say it's funny, I don't know why I'm surprised, but we're going to get one more card kind of as the glue, see what we've got going on. And we've got the Empress. As the Empress says what? You have a gift to give. Yes, obviously she says, obviously it says, here, she's obviously pregnant or whatever. She's got, I think it's a pomegranate. It's got all kinds of, seeds, and pomegranates mean things are all rich and wealthy and wonderful. But she has a gift to give. And I say a lot when I see this card, she is able to give the gift of herself. She's able to give the gift of who she is. And what did I say here? Even if you don't have a huge amount of money to give, the gift of your time. Maybe you have a neighbor who's all by themselves and they're really lonely, and you go over and you sit with them for an hour and have a cup of tea, and you bring over a bag of muffins and you just talk and you spend time with them. Your time is extremely valuable, and it's a tangible thing. And people say time isn't tangible, but it is when you need it, right? When you run out of time, you sure as hell know you don't have any left. So even if you took a half an hour of your time or an hour of your time and spent it with maybe a neighbor who has lost someone, or they're alone and whatever, you have a gift to give. But the gift that you give is a gift that you create. The gift is you. You have a gift of you to give. And that's what I said about giving back to your community and whatever. You don't have to give them lots of money. You give them your time. You give them your love, your passion. That is really where I want you to focus this month, because I think a lot will come from it that will be highly profitable to you in your business and probably in your personal life as well. So, all right, Scorpio, we're going to head to our Sagittarians. What do we have for our Sagittarians? Career, money, finance. The Nine of Wands and the Empress. Wow, it's just so funny the way things go. Watch your moon and rising and see if it makes anything a little more clear. But Sagittarius, you are the Wands. I think there's a lot of you that are feeling very trapped, knowing what has gone on these last few months with the pandemic. It's been very stressful for a lot of people, and you're not really wanting to take a step outside of your little area, especially when it comes to career, money, finance. But the one thing I want to say is operating from a place of fear, really not the best thing for you. Not only does it really kind of wail on your self-esteem and your confidence, it makes it really dreadful to have to put yourself out there every day. And when we talk career, money, finance, a lot of career, money, finance is generated by you, the you that you put out into the world, the person that you that you show people when you're out in the world. And, if maybe you're in sales, and if you're terrified to walk into somebody's office and you're terrified to talk to them and you don't want to look stupid. And so you just kind of sit in your car and send them an email and don't go in. And it's just an example. That's not going to really get you any rewards. And yes, you know what? You might pick up that 10th wand. And if you are familiar with tarot at all, and even if you're not, you've probably seen the one where there's a guy like bent over with all these sticks on his back. And it's real heavy and he's all burdened. That could happen. You could pick up that 10th wand and it could be a burden and you could be like, why did I waste my time with this? I knew better. But you know what? Something good could come of it too. So you can't hide here. You can't just hide here in your safe little spot and not get out into the world. I think a lot of people have become frightened to get out into the world of what will happen. Oh, the disease. Oh, this. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on and I'm not going to get into it here. But there are a lot of things going on in the world that are highly upsetting, and it's very tempting to just not become a part of that and to not put ourselves out there where that could get into our own personal lives. But I think there's not a choice. And I especially say that here because you have the Empress. And obviously she does look pregnant in this picture. And what I say about this many times is that this is a gift she's creating herself. There's a gift of you that you need to put out there, and it will be very appreciated. And when we talk career, money, finance, the gift of you, like I say, if you're in sales, what are you selling? Yourself. If you're at your job, your place of employment, if you own a business, what are you selling? You're selling yourself and your skills. If you hide up here behind all these sticks in this like little fort you built, guess what? No one's going to see you. And there's obviously some sort of very large gift that you have for you to share with other people. You got to get out there. And that's the thing with your career, money, finance this month. I think you need to put yourself out there to reap the rewards. But I also, with this Empress, I want to say too, it's not just put yourself out there. It's also, you have this major gift to give. You have something to offer. It's not like you don't have anything to offer, but I think people have been sequestered kind of alone for so long that their confidence is just shot and they don't feel like they can go out and just offer who they are. But you have a lot to give, and it would be a shame to just see you hide up here in this little fort of sticks you made. It's really important that you get out into the world. Fear or not, you have to get out there. You cannot live your life in fear, because then the world misses out on this amazing gift of you and who you are. And even when it comes, if we want to talk finances, maybe you have an opportunity to do something financially. Well, you're going to have to step outside of this comfort zone, right? You're going to have to step outside to receive this gift. If this is someone else in your life, to receive this gift, you can't hide up here and still try to expect to have all kinds of good stuff coming towards you. You're going to have to get out, because there's either someone with a gift coming to give it to you, or it's you putting yourself out into the universe saying, I'm ready and I'm willing, I'm able to do the work. Like, bring it on, here I am. But you're going to have to put yourself out there to make that happen. So if you have some opportunities that have come to you in positions where you will have to kind of sell yourself, or you have to be out there in the world, put yourself out there and see what comes of it. What do we have? We have got the Two of Swords, and this is exactly what we're talking about. This is kind of the glue going on here. The Two of Swords, if you'll notice, she's got her arms crossed, right? And she's got the blindfold on, and she's like, nope. Now, she could just like uncross her arms, put the swords down, take the blindfold off. This is a clear indication that we are deciding to not decide. And deciding to not decide is a decision to do nothing. So not making a decision, just kind of standing up in here going, oh, I don't know. That's what I feel like. It's very like, I don't know, maybe it'll be bad. I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. Doing that is never going to get you any kind of progress. So it's really time to take this blindfold off, put the swords down, and make some decisions, because deciding to do nothing is really lame, and that's not who you are, Sagittarius. You're like quirky and awesome and fun, and you have a lot to offer, and hiding up in this little fort is not the way to do it. So put yourself out there. That's my final word on that, is just put yourself out there. Be willing to put yourself out there, because there's good stuff coming for you. And people, the other thing is, people will really appreciate you. they're really going to appreciate you. So that's, I think, part of the fear, is that you'll put yourself out there and people will be like, what's with you? And no, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. So don't be afraid to do that. All right, we're going to move on to Capricorn. What do we have for Capricorn? Three of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Well, first of all, you are the King of Pentacles, so that's cool. The Capricorn, you are an earth sign. You are stable. You are grounded. You are steadfast. I mean, you got it going on. But there's something that is some sort of hurt or something that's happened that's really holding you back from from really putting in that effort. It feels like you have a tremendous opportunity this month to be extremely successful, but something is just like, you're done. You're feeling like, I'm done. You're discouraged, feeling really sad, very stuck in your head. The swords are your thought process, the way that you work through things. And this can just be like, you could have had a business partner really do a number on you and you're just devastated. Whatever it is, something has been very disappointing. It could be that maybe you lost your job during this pandemic and all the aftermath of the pandemic. A lot of people have lost their jobs, and for the Capricorn, it's incredibly painful. You're very you're very vested in your security and the plans that you make for yourself. So coming up with a job loss, or even being home, feeling irrelevant, whatever it is, it's very painful. But the wonderful thing is that I think you're forgetting kind of who you are here, because King of Pentacles is highly successful. He's also like a very fair, honest businessman, decision maker. He's got his head on straight. So I just think that if you can get over this, and it may take a little bit, I know you don't enjoy this, but kind of feel the feelings of it, whether maybe you were let go during the pandemic, or your business was closed, you lost a business. It could even be that, maybe your job was eliminated, your finances took a very hard hit. Many people really suffered during this pandemic. A lot of our essential workers, you'll find a lot of Capricorns in the essential worker area. They really suffered because they were going to work, a lot of times not getting their overtime. They're working more shifts than usual. It just was very, very stressful for them. And as that period comes to a close, sometimes this kind of stuff hits really, really hard. But just remember who you are and know that this is coming again. You have to work through this. Whatever it is that you found disappointing, or just truly, really upsetting, and I just feel like devastating is the word that I feel like it is. Okay, I don't know why. I was coughing there for a minute. But yeah, this devastating something, loss, or I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it was bad, and I get that. But remember who you are. And I love this. You have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles is about things. Let me see if I can come around here. Instead of being like, it's about things evening out. You've got the scales right here. Okay. It's saying, okay, if you can't come right back to here and just, go at this 100 miles an hour, you can come here. And the Six of Pentacles, I think Scorpio got this too. Some of this is about giving back. Finding a way to give back, finding a way to realize that you still have enough abundance to give back to other people, even though maybe you have been really hurt or something did not go in your favor. There's still hope, and you remaining balanced. And I don't know who this is for, but I want to say not just balanced, but engaged. I feel like you need to really be engaged in your life and engaged in your community, your career. Not just, I go here because I have to, but like really fully engaged. Maybe you realize during this pandemic that this is not what you want to do anymore, and there's something new and different. Just know, if that's the case, you got this King of Pentacles here. You can't get any better than that. So maybe start out by giving back to your community, by giving back to people who are a little bit less fortunate than you are. Start by just achieving some sort of balance in your life and go from there. Take small steps. You don't have to come back to this right now, but once you can get through this, whatever this loss is and whatever this bad feeling is, once you can get through this, then all bets are off. All bets are off, Capricorn, and I really do truly believe that. So watch your moon and rising too, because it'll give you a little bit more info as to what's going on for you. All right, we're going to do our Aquarius next. What do we have for Aquarius? The Emperor. We never get that. And the King of Cups. Oh my God. Okay. I'm an Aquarius. I'm like, you have the Emperor. What more can I say? Wow. I got nothing. Business as usual, right? I see Aquarius like just freaking out here with this King of Cups. I feel like there's something that you need to share with people. You need to be very open. I feel like you fulfill this Emperor kind of position pretty easily. Most Aquarians are very blunt, very, very outspoken, not always having as much tact as possible, which I'm one of them. I can say that. We're just very blunt people. Emperors, obviously, kings are that way, right? They don't go out of their way to make it nice. They just blurt it out. Apparently, something needs to be said with regard to your career, money, and finance, and you're completely in control of this conversation. But with this King of Cups here, I'm feeling like it needs to have some tact. And I think that's exactly what we're talking about here. I think, you know, a lot of times you'll hear me say, it's not personal, it's business. In this case, that's not the case. I think the universe is asking here that if you do have decisions that need to be made in your business, in your finances, with regard to your career, that you're going to want to use a little bit of a softer side of you to help make those decisions. And I very rarely say things like that, but I think it's really important. We've talked a lot during the rest of the signs about giving back. And it seems that maybe, you know, kings have one mission, right? Emperors and kings have one mission, to rule their kingdom and to get it done and make things happen. And especially during everything that's been going on, it's been very easy for people who like are air signs to go, this is what's got to happen, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to make stuff happen, and that's what I'm doing. But as we try to come out of that mode, especially with this new moon in Cancer, we're like feeling and all this business, you got this King of Cups here who's really solid emotionally and who's extremely open and kind and caring. So I think what we're saying is, as we kind of head through July in our business decisions, in our financial decisions, I think we just need to err on the side of softness, which you'll hardly ever hear me say stuff like that. But I don't know how else to take this, is that we need to be soft, or maybe not soft, gentle. Things don't have to be delivered. You know, what do they say? Like, if you can deliver it, you know, with a handshake, you don't need to use an axe, kind of thing. It could be something along those lines. I'm totally guilty of that too. So as an Aquarius, I kind of get that. But yeah, it's saying, you know, you're going to have to really work to employ something emotional. You do have the Wheel of Fortune coming. This is like really weird for Aquarius, because you're like, yeah, I know. Like, but it says, like, you know, you have good things coming to you. You know, luck is on your side. Good things are coming your way. There are beautiful and wonderful things coming to you, but I think you're going to have to show your softer side a bit to see it. Because you got like these two kings right next to each other, and you've got this one who's like a total hard ass, who's like, and then you've got this one who's like, not. I mean, but he rules, but he's very gentle. So maybe it's that like walk softly, carry a big stick sort of thing, but you have really good luck coming your way. So there's good things coming to you, but I think you'll need to be open emotionally, and you'll need to receive them in a gentle and kind manner. Maybe you have, just an example, an opportunity to buy a business or change companies or something along those lines. You want to be very careful how you acquire this business or how you leave one company and move to another one. I want to make sure that whatever decisions you make, you deliver them in a gentle manner, because they talk about you don't want to burn your bridges. I see that kind of as a thing. You have really good stuff coming toward you, but you want to make sure that your entrances and exits are gentle. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, watch your moon and rising with that, please, so we know what in the world is going on. We'll finish it up with our Pisces. What do we have for Pisces? Boy, that's coming up a lot. The Two of Swords and the King of Swords. All right, Pisces. This is going to be harsh. I know I'm always hard on you guys. You guys are soft and sweet and wonderful, but it is time to get it together. This Two of Swords is like the whole, like, yeah, I just, not seeing it, don't care, don't know, not making a decision. I can't say what I want to say because I don't like to swear on this channel, just because a lot of times people's kids are around. You're going to want to remove your head from your rear end. It is time to engage your brain fully and make some decisions. And I know with this pandemic and all this other stuff, a lot of people were sitting around doing a lot of sitting around, a lot of worrying, being very upset. And Pisces, you guys are a water sign. You're very, you have a tendency to be gentle and to be soft and to be very caring and loving, but it is time to engage your logical brain. And you kind of have to go from 2 to 100 here. But right here, not making a decision, I can't see you, is making a decision to do nothing. And just rotating around, I don't know who this is for, but like rotating around crying it's just not going to cut it anymore. It's time. Some decisions have to be made. Some tough decisions have to be made. And when you see the swords are all logic. You will hear me say many, many times, it's business. It's not personal. This message can't be any more clear. Whatever it is that you have to decide career, money, and finance-wise, it is business. It is not personal. That's why I think a lot of people are at that crossroads of like, yeah, I don't want to decide on this because it's like yucky and I don't want to deal with it. Well, you're going to have to. But it's I can't say enough times in enough ways how adamant I am that you use your logical brain to respond to the things that come your way, and not your soft, sweet Pisces kind of way, not your water sign, not your water sign and brain. Okay, you wouldn't want to grab onto that air sign intellect and fierceness and just kind of, this is the way it is. You might have somebody off asking to borrow money, and maybe you've put them off and put them off and put them off and put them off. Now you're going to have to say, I'm sorry, no, I'm not going to loan you that money. Maybe you have, a spouse that wants to buy something very expensive. They want to buy a new house, and you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe, but you're really thinking, we can't afford that. This is where the King of Swords comes in and says, here, we're going to make a decision. And the decision is, no, we're not doing that. It's illogical. We're not doing that. This is all logic based. This is not emotional. It's logic based. And that's why I say it's a business, not personal. So whatever financial things come at you this month, please make a decision and use your logical brain. I'm begging you to make the decision with your logical brain, but you do need to make the decisions because they will not go away. I'm going to get one more card for you guys, kind of glue it all together and see what you've got going on. And of course, watch your moon and risings too, because that'll give you a little more information. It'll help you out. Oh, we got one that flipped. The Five of Cups. This is the fear and horror that you experience, because if I make this hard decision, right, you got 3 cups spilled, you got somebody who's sad, who's upset, right? And I think the reason that we're not making the decisions we need to make is because we're focused on what will go wrong and who will be hurt and who will be mad and who will be feeling bad and who won't like us anymore and who will tell people we're mean or whatever, especially being a water sign. This is you guys. You are the cups. You are a water sign. So very easy for you to get caught up in that energy of like, I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the bad guy. But remember, you've got 2 upright cups here. So you know what? If you make the decision, you share the hard truth, you handle whatever it is, when you can turn away from the stuff that didn't go right and focus on the good parts. Like, I'll give you an example. These are maybe you've got a couple people that want to borrow money from you, and you have the money to loan them, but you're never going to get it back, and you would need to get it back. You don't have way to replace that otherwise. You would need it back, and they're not going to pay you. It will cause family drama perhaps, or some kind of problem if you don't give them what they want. However, when you put that out there, it's done and it's over with, and you turn here and you see the 2 cups you have that are full, you're able to say, okay, well, you know what? I just saved my family X amount of dollars, and we'll still be able to go on vacation or whatever it is because I didn't give that money to so-and-so. Or, maybe you would have hired somebody at your company who wasn't really going to do a good job, but you felt like you had to hire them and you missed out on a good employee. So it's like, you're going to have to, all I'm saying here is just, these are just examples, but you're going to have to make the tough career, money, finance decisions using your logical brain. And it will be hard. It will feel bad because you have here, the cup spilled over. It's going to feel bad. But in the end, when you can take a breath and turn and focus on these 2 cups that are upright, you'll be like, okay, I did the right thing. It really was not cool, but I did the right thing for myself and my family. And that's, I think, where you really need to focus, Pisces. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for watching.